Sarah at Bailey Art, and I'm here crafting with Sarah from Sarah Designs. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are
How are
you?
you doing?
Not too bad. It's Friday.
It's Friday! Always enjoy a good craft on a Friday. Before we get started, I'm going to go through some announcements we have right here in my little book. We've got our Christmas in July sale currently going. So if you guys haven't taken advantage of those deals yet, I suggest doing so, especially if you get a couple items. You can get that free shipping at that $25 plus free shipping in the US, and that just is a really good deal. So if you want to try some out, if you want to try some products out, or do some restocking before the holidays, because it is coming up. We've got August here in just a bit, and that means back to school, which means everyone's busy, and then it is Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, just like that. So if you guys want some, glue, cubies, clearly craft plastic, I suggest going on our website, bailey.art, and taking advantage of those deals. Today we are working on this summer fruit box project, which is on our website as well. So if you want to go there, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and go download that. It's bailey.art, and it's one of the newest SVGs we have there. Although I do think a lot of our design team projects SVGs are there too. So if you can't find it, it is called Summer Fruit Box. So check that out. And then we also have our TikTok shop now open on TikTok. So that took us a while to get to. We weren't really active on there, and now we're trying to get back onto TikTok. So if you guys have a showcase where you show a lot of products, you can request to show our products on your showcase, and you just send that off and check us out. It's Bailey Art on TikTok, so it's Bailey Art. And then we have also, before summer ends, we have our super cute ice cream little glue holder here. This is part of the sale. So I was just getting that before summer's over, because July is coming to an end and August will be here and gone so fast. So check that out. I'm using it today just to hold my glue here, just
I
like
think
that.
I
There are
need to
other,
order one.
huh?
I
The
need to order
pink one?
one. Yeah.
Yes, it's pink. Pink goes with everything.
Yep.
Love this one. And a little cherry here is a magnet to hold your cleaning pin, so easy peasy. It goes in great in any craft room, especially yours. I see you have a lot of pink there,
I do
Sarah.
have a lot of pink.
And then this video will be saved on our YouTube. If you want to check out our YouTube, you should subscribe and get the notifications, because then you'll know every time we are doing a new video. We also have our beginner friendly series, which is basically where we take a project, we show you guys how to design it on Design Space, and then we assemble it on a live. So if you want to see the whole process of making a project, you can go and subscribe and check out our videos. All right, I think that's all the announcements I had. Now I'm going to close my book and we can go ahead and get started. So, hello, Sarah. Tell me about this project.
Well, I feel very organized because I have to admit this is not how I craft. I'm a little excited to do it with like everything here, and I don't think I'm missing a piece. So this is a summer fruit box that everyone voted on to make, and I turned it into a bit of a shaker. So here is a version of the finished product. And it was really fun. I took a bunch of your SVGs and they were all really simple. And it's I feel like it was a pretty simple cut in general to make, but you can just dress it up to really have it, be unique and be really extra, which I
So
love.
pretty. Yes. Love it. It looks great. I love how you use the little the tiles that we have from one of our design teams. This looked really cute on it, very summery, and it went so well with the lemon blues you have here. So
And are you a print and cut person? I tend to not be. So I like
uh
to create as much
not
as,
usually.
yeah,
We
but you
have
the
we
tiles as a print and
Yeah,
cut.
you could do that. Yeah, I like print and cut. It is helpful when you're doing like characters or something,
Yeah,
but the cutting out separate pieces, it generally looks a lot better, I
yeah,
think.
I agree. The people though, I've now when I get character requests, I tend to do a lot more print and cut than I used to. And
Yeah.
little pieces.
Agreed. I totally understand that one. Alrighty, where should we get started on this box?
So with 3D projects, I like to do anything the flat stuff first, basically, because it's
Okay.
really hard with paper to glue when stuff is already put together. So if we start with the
Mhm.
box, I'm going to create the layers on each just because they're really flat, not the little extras with the lemons, but just the flat
Mhm.
side. So add the blue and the white squares to each panel for the
Okay.
bottom. I think that's the easiest way to start.
Good idea. I tend to recognize that as the right way to do things, and then I'll forget and I'll make the project. I'm like, right, there was a reason I was going to go in that order, and I'll forget.
For sure. And I'm a glue on the edge. I know some people glue all over. I try to just do the edges as much as possible.
Usually go around the edge and then do a nice little
You do the
squiggle the
squiggles.
whole way through. I do.
I also never use flat cardstock. So
Oh no.
no, I have such an aversion to it for some reason.
So you like the textured cardstock
I
better
love
then?
textured unless I'm doing skin tones, and then I'll do the flat for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I will say that I didn't used to know about textured cardstock. I just thought they were all the same in this like just the smooth one. And then the more I did like lives with people, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we use textured for this, especially for like they would do some like print cuts in textured, and that looked really nice."
Yep.
And I was like, "Wait a second, I think they're onto something." And then, of course, we are crafting here. Well, I'm crafting from Arlington, Texas at the Bailey Art headquarters. Sarah, where are you crafting from?
I'm in Waltham, Massachusetts, so just outside of Boston.
Just outside of Boston. Yes, I had to take a little geography lesson yesterday when you told me Massachusetts. And then afterwards, Jeremy was telling me where all the states were. I was like, right, that's where Massachusetts. He's like, near Boston. I was like, or Boston's in Massachusetts. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
right.
So the hardest part of this project actually was crafting in July in Massachusetts. Everything is just damp. So my paper and it stuck to the mat. It's nearly impossible in July.
Really?
The heat is
One
fine.
that
It's the humidity that kills the paper.
That's true. We get some humidity here, but I feel like it's not so bad. I don't think it's ever affected my project before, so
Oh,
that's interesting.
it's like super flimsy paper now. I like the blue you chose. The
I
inside blue.
love this blue.
They're pretty together.
Yes, this is actually Grace's choice. She usually cuts out all the projects. She has for a while now, and she used to like have a lot of questions about which colors to use, but she's getting pretty good at picking out which colors. And this one came out so nice. I was like, I love the colors you picked.
I feel like blue is one of those colors. You have a million options and it's never the blue you're looking for.
That and pink. I feel like we have a bajillion pink colors, and I'm always having trouble figuring out which ones look right. They're just not fitting or something.
Yeah, I think pink is definitely, you can see it a little bit. I have the most shelves of pink.
There's so many different shades. I don't think so. And then I get like a variety pack and I'll try and make something. I'm
Yeah.
like, this pink is slightly different from this one. It's a warmer tone or cooler tone, and it's not working.
You and I are in the exact same spot. So it's just that you putting your cover piece on the square.
Easy peasy.
So I would recommend also adding the tiles on before we create the box, just because those are perfectly flat.
Yeah. And then let me go and see the comments. I'm on YouTube comments right now, so I'm just going to take a little look. We've got Mary from Tennessee. She says, hello from Crossville, Tennessee. Donna from Detroit. Susie from Illinois. And then, of course, we got Bailey Art saying hello to everybody in the comments. So, hello. Welcome to our Crafty Friday. I love a good craft on Friday. It's a good way to end the week.
Yep. I try to clean my office after Friday projects are done.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't get cleaned.
Which day do you craft the most on? Do you have like a certain day, or is it just whenever, whatever happens?
It's truly based on my girls' lives. So no.
You said someone just came back from camp, right?
My youngest was at a sleepaway camp, her first one. So it was a soccer camp up in New Hampshire. So we picked her up yesterday. So she's home. And she loved it. So that was great. She's our chattiest. So it was a to not have her here.
That's funny. The chattiest. My older brother was probably the chattiest out of us three.
Where do you fall?
I'm in the middle.
You're the middle. Are you still officially a middle child? Are you going to hold on to that forever?
Yes, it is who I am. It's part of my identity at this point. But I'm also the what I think they would agree with me. So I don't think they'll be insulted if I say I'm also the responsible child. So it's never was like in like TVs and stuff. They're like, oh, the middle child, like the rebel child or whatever. And I was like, I'm not. I'm a get my homework done by myself. Sit quietly, read a book, stay inside, beg my mom to not make me go out and play with the other kids, kind of middle child. So different
That
breed.
sounds like my middle.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She's very happy being an introvert. She owns it.
Mm-hmm.
She loves, reading all day long. School is very big.
Yes.
But she also will fully she will let us know she's the middle and she feels it all the time.
Oh. Being the responsible child, I think I had a bit of a advantage on my siblings because my parents, although sometimes I was like, oh, they're giving my brother attention, but then I was like, look closer, they're mad at him for not doing his homework, where I'm like, I'm okay. So I was like, never mind, that's okay. It's good. This is a good spot I'm in.
I never believed my sister when she would complain about, middle child syndrome until having girls, and now I'm like, okay, I can see some of it.
That's funny. Yeah, I've got my older brother who's the only boy, and then my younger sister who is of course the baby. She's 6 years younger than I am, so
Oh, so
she's
she's
little
the
baby.
baby.
Yeah, she's the itty bitty baby. She just moved out this year, but she moved in with me, so I think that helped my parents' anxiety.
Well, I was the baby too, and I fully got all the benefits of being the baby.
Yeah, she does take advantage of her being the youngest. It's for me, it was like, oh, I don't want to ask my parents for like anything. That's where I was at. But she was like, hey, I want to go to the movies, give me money, sort of thing. And I was like, you're different than me.
All right, I have one panel fully done.
Awesome. Okay, I did my tiles and I just need to put them on the panel, I think.
What's nice about this design too, or this file, is because it had this. So this side has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces on it. It makes the box really sturdy.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then I think we had a question on Facebook. Jody was asking where she can get the file. You can get the file on our website, bailey.art, for free. Sarah has designed it. That's who we're crafting with today. And it looks so good. So you guys want to check that out. She did use SVGs from our website. So that just goes to show you that you can use anything to make a great project. This one is called the Summer Fruit Box. Summer Fruit Box. All right, we got one panel fully done now. Look at my other one. It does feel sturdy.
Yeah.
And then Mary on YouTube says, "My baby sister is 6 years younger than I am." Yes, I know that age gap. It's funny. Like when I was younger, my sister was definitely like or my parents like, "You need to get along with her. You're not, you're gonna miss it or whatever." She's like great. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get there when I get there. And then she got older and we were not super close. And then I would pick her up from work though. And because she likes to spend money, she does. So at some point she was like, "I gotta spend my own money." And so she got a job, but she couldn't drive yet. So I was driving her. And that's when I say we got closer because I would just yap in the car, just yap, 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 yap. And she would be stuck with me to listen. And
Yep.
I think it made us more comfortable to just kind of hang around. So it was good. And now we live together. So that's nice.
My oldest is doing driver's ed this week, and
Ooh.
driver's ed intensive. So it's 6 hours Monday through Friday online of just listening.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I think she's very happy it's Friday.
That's fun. How old is your oldest?
She will be 16 the end of September.
Oh, okay, so she's one of my brother was that way too. He was like ready for his license. I pushed mine until I went to college. I didn't want to drive.
I think that's what I'm expecting my middle one to do. I think she'll be 18, and
Mhm.
but yeah, our oldest, she cannot wait. Counting down the days.
I've got my tiles on my box here. So are you just doing the folding now?
Yep. And I have, what is this called again? You have it too. It's like a book
Bone
binder.
folder?
What is it?
I think it's called a bone folder.
That is what it's called. And it does work well to get harsh folds, but I often just use my fingers. So if you don't have the tool, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, very much optional.
Sometimes I use my Cricut scraper to make folds.
Mm-hmm. All these little folds here. Did you guys do a lot of fun this summer?
We kept it pretty local. Last year we went to Thailand, so that was a
Ooh.
lot. Such a big
Yeah.
trip and a long trip. So we kind of just decided to stay mostly, New England stuff, just small trips.
Very cool.
How about you?
Didn't do anything crazy. My friends and I last weekend went to Austin to do like a float the river. That
Oh,
was a lot of
nice.
fun. Before that, in around May, I went to it was not summer quite yet in May, but I went to Florida. I went to Miami with my boyfriend. And then I think that's all the trips we've taken so far this summer. So it was a pretty relaxed summer. Just kind of trying to swim more here and there. I've enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
survive the
It
heat.
hasn't Yeah, it hasn't been as hot as it has in the past. Like we got to triple digits, but we didn't get to it as much as we did last year. Last year was like a record for us. So
Yeah.
this year was like if there was a little cloudy that day, we were all celebrating.
I despise the winter so much, so I will never complain if it's too hot.
It gets pretty cold up there, I'd imagine, in the winter.
It certainly used to get a lot colder, but yeah, for me, unless it's 82, I'm cold. So I'm not meant for New England anymore.
No. Have you been there long?
Oh, I was born in Massachusetts. I grew up in Massachusetts. I moved out to California for a couple of years, and then moved back.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
quite the distance.
Yes, it felt far, so we came back. I do the big panels. Like, this is my trick. I usually you kind of create it flat, and then do you do one corner at do you do it side by side and go around and build the box, or do you do it flat and then build up all at once?
Honestly, I think I've done it both ways, and it's just kind of like what I remember to do at that moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I feel like the glue sets better if I do it flat, but I don't always think to do it.
Let's see. Got my sides here.
I went to Austin once when we were actually moving out to California, and
Oh
we drove out, so we stopped. We took like a week plus to get out there, and we just stopped along the way. And
yeah.
it was the best burger I've ever had. I don't remember where we went, but it was amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't as I guess relatively close Austin is. I don't go there too often, but I think for the past couple summers I've gone. Um it's fun. It's like a just somewhere a little different. And then we have online. Let's see. Debbie says the lemons are very cute. It'd be easy to turn into limes, just changing colors. That's very true.
Yep.
Lime box. Debbie said they made their boys wait until they were 18 for their license because of insurance.
Oh, I don't. It's everything is so expensive.
Everything is so expensive.
All three of my girls are very active in sports, so part of it will
Mhm.
just be like a lifeline to not need different places at the exact same time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
All right, so I did mine flat like this, and now I'm gonna build the box.
All right, building mine flat right now. Were you into sports too, Sarah? Like your kids, or are
I
they into sports
was.
because you weren't?
No, I definitely
Oh.
was. I didn't. They're very much into soccer, and when I was growing up, obviously we didn't have girls soccer. You had to play with the boys, and not that that
Hmm.
is wrong, but it definitely made a difference. So I didn't play that for very long. My favorite sport was volleyball, but
Ooh,
in season is
fun.
soccer here, so I didn't get any volleyball players.
Uh, that's fun though. I've got a friend who she does a lot of sand volleyball.
Oh yeah,
And in college, I would do a lot of sand volleyball for fun because I lived in the dorms for a year and I would play with our friends. We just go out there and play. It was so much fun.
and that is such a different. It's so much harder than on a court.
Yeah.
My dad actually, he had beach sand imported when I was in high school. He built me a beach volleyball court in our side yard. We couldn't grow grass, so
Oh,
he was like, "I might as well make it a volleyball court for you."
that's so
It
sweet.
was very cool.
Dads and their daughters.
Yep.
I
Are you excited to watch the Olympics?
actually am. I've never really watched it before, but it just feels like I would like to. I feel like it's a great time because I didn't grow up doing a lot of sports. Like I said, I was an indoor read and avoid the outside kind of person. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? Like summer Olympics sounds like a great time to watch a bunch of different sports all at once. I don't have to keep up with anything too
Yeah.
much, but it's like a lot of fun. So I really want to watch and see what's gonna happen. Keep up with some of it.
Yeah. And there's my box.
Oh,
The bottom of the
beautiful.
box.
Yes, I'm gluing my last tabs here. Box is pretty good. Come together pretty
And it
nice.
really is quite sturdy.
Yeah. Put a nice little treat in here. All right, so I've got my bottom of the box. Now I'm just gonna work on the lid.
And the file that I created is for a shaker, but you don't have to make it a shaker by any means.
Hmm.
The same file would work and just keeping it flat without the acetate.
Oh no, I put my tiles in the wrong part of my box. I put them on the bottom. I'm just now realizing. Well, that's okay. That just means this has to be a shaker to cover up the blank white on it. Whoopsie.
That just
Okay.
means you have a very extra box that, even the bottom is decorated.
It's just sturdier there too, to hold the really good goodies.
This morning when I was going through all the pieces, trying to set up so that I would
Mhm.
not be digging for what I needed.
Uh-huh.
I'm such an extra piece cutter, so I have, 5 times the amount of each piece I need right now. Because anytime I don't do that, it's a guarantee that I will lose something.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. We should probably do that more because there are times on the lives where we're like, yeah, we got everything there, and then we're missing one or two pieces, and it's just like,
Yeah.
So
No
maybe
matter
putting
how
extras would
careful
be a good
I am.
idea. It's the ones that really get me are like if you get like the characters with like the eyes and you have like a little white dot. I
Yes.
will have it in my hand and I breathed or something, but it'll just disappear and it's
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, I've gone through the trash, I don't know how many times in the recycle for, like, a little piece. Those eyes are
Yeah.
killer. I've started printing sometimes even when I layer, like, the faces, I'll print and cut the
Uh-huh.
eyes just to avoid do a little mix.
Yeah. Right. And while making this box, guys, don't forget to check where the tabs are as well. For example, on this lid, there's a part with these both are flat tabs, but then this smaller one will have two of these folded tabs here. So that would go there. And this side has one flat side, one tab, one tab, one flat side. So just make sure you're lining those up correctly. I almost didn't, but I was just quick enough to catch myself.
Yep. I will say the scoring part was the hardest with the soft paper.
Really, I always find textured paper always the soft paper because of the humidity.
Because of the humidity, yeah.
Because
So
of the
I'd get,
humidity.
halfway or 3/4 of the way through the scoring and it would jam.
Oh my goodness. Because you said earlier you like textured paper best, and I'm just like when we do scoring with those, it's so hard to find the lines again.
I know.
That's our biggest struggle with that, I think. I know we're
If you're
scored.
using, a Cricut, what is the original one or the older one? Is it the Cricut? Like, I have the Maker. What's the other one?
Explorer?
Yes.
Air?
So if you're
Okay.
using Explorer, I think you still have to use the scoring pen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Ours has a pin.
the Maker, I have the scoring wheel, and it definitely makes a deeper groove
Okay.
than the pen.
Yeah.
In that
Sometimes
sense,
the pin doesn't like even make a dent very well, and we'll have to like hand score it afterwards. We've had ours for a while. Our Cricket's seen it through a lot of projects, so
I'm
maybe
sure.
she's just up for retirement. Alrighty, I got my little lid here.
I also
It's
have the Venture,
up.
but it's so big that unless I'm
The
doing a
Maker.
really big project, it feels overwhelming to use.
Which one?
The Venture,
The Venture. Oh my gosh, yeah, that one looks huge.
so huge.
Have you what kind of products have you used for it?
Banners are awesome on it because if you're cutting
Oh.
like a ton of letters or the same shape over and over and over again, just not having to
Mm-hmm.
feed all those different mats
Yeah.
and I don't do a lot of vinyl and iron on, but when I do, if it's a big project, that it works really well for that and so quick. I think most of my projects just have so many different colors
Mm-hmm.
in them that I don't know. I don't tend to have enough paper um, to really seem like I should use a big enough machine for like a cake topper or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't realize how big it is until you see the mat with your little pieces, like, just in the bottom inch. It seems silly to use a 3-foot
Yeah.
mat.
Yeah. There are times when I just think like when there are pieces so small that you don't even want to, I don't even want to use like the regular Cricut size. I'm like, it's so itty bitty. I almost want to hand cut it, but I can't hand cut like a perfect circle or anything, so I can't do
Right.
that. But it's just like, oh, okay, no, one more time.
Yeah. It doesn't get definitely does not get as much use as my maker, but it has been nice for
Mhm.
a few really big projects, and that off the mat projects are awesome because I bought the full size paper too, so you can just
Oh
cut one
wow,
piece.
that's cool.
Yeah. So off the mat are now on the mat.
Alrighty, I've got my lid glued together. And then are we gonna build a shaker from on this one? Or are you gonna do a shaker today? Or
Yes, I was gonna do a shaker
okay.
too.
Okay, cool.
And at first, I was planning on making the sides a shaker as
Hmm.
well, but you just have to be careful because the lid, like, you'd have to make it a
Yeah.
smaller you'd have to have the shaker not go all the way up the side if you wanted to do that,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Because the lid would
because if
cover
you
it.
make it the same size as, like, the tiles or the blue, the lid won't fit on.
Right. Gotcha.
I realized that after I'd cut my first one. So there's mine too.
So that everyone remember that's what the lid is supposed to look like. Mine's blank because glued my tiles in the bottom. So
That just
don't
means
do
you
what I did. It's
more fun stuff inside as the shaker.
yes, and pour all the glitter and sequins in there.
So if you're using the Barely acetate, just make sure you peel it too. I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you how many times I've only peeled one side and glued it and then realized later that it just is peeling off because the plastic is not coming off.
Yeah, I've done that before. It should be extra super clear, and
Yep.
you just gotta peel. There's two protective layers on that. So if you're using Clearly Craft Plastic by Barely Art, don't forget double sided for extra clear coverage.
And it's a really good weight. I've played around with a lot of different acetates.
Is it good? What do you like to use it for? Anything specific for the
I
weight
probably
size
use it
or?
the most for shakers, but also just
Okay.
um, for delicate like cake toppers or anything that I want to have height on, but don't want to have like a colored. I want it to look like it's just kind of floating.
Uh huh.
I love the weight for that because you can put multiple layered items on it and it doesn't just bend too much.
Mm,
It will keep its shape. So it's really great.
nice.
I haven't tried making a clear box out of it. Have you tried scoring
I
it?
haven't. No, we have like used an embossing folder and embossed some and that does
Okay.
really well. But I've never tried scoring it to make a box, but that would be fun. I do keep seeing them online and I keep wanting to try it, but it's just not at my top craft list because it kind of
Yeah.
ends there. It's just like this is a clear box.
So when I make shakers, I actually like to have, so this was like the top frame.
Mm-hmm.
This just helps me for placement. I usually try to then put the same like frame down below. So then I
Mm,
know
gotcha.
exactly where to put the cubies on. And that's
Mm-hmm.
just a preference. If you're good at eyeballing, you don't need it, but I just like it as a guide so I know that the cubies aren't going to show.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean because I didn't do that before, and I was like, "Why is it that I can't get this to stay hidden? Like the cubies are coming out, things are poking around, and
Yeah.
then you just put the frame on the top and bottom, and it's so much easier. Just a nice, easy guide." Yeah. So now this is my little guide here. I'm gonna just put cubies on that frame. A little hard to see, but you can see the little frame here.
Yeah,
Yes, I
mine
see
has
6.
the white frame with the tiles inside, so I'm just gonna use that as a guide to put. And I tend to go, I usually go the high height for shakers. I think for this
Uh-huh.
top one, I did the shorter one just because it's already gonna have so much other height with the flowers and
Gotcha.
everything.
I'm using the Polar Cubies.
And just make sure, depending on how small your items are that you're putting in the shaker, that you try not to have any gaps between the foam or it'll just spill out.
We've had that happen to us plenty of
Oh,
times.
so many times.
It's so bad when you really think you did like a really good closed one and then you're like, oh, this is gonna be fine. You give it a nice good shake and just glitter everywhere.
Yep.
Like I was overconfident. I apologize.
Like, oh, no one will mind having glitter all over their cake. It's totally fine.
Have you ever tried like the edible glitter before? Not in a project, but just as far as like in or on something.
Oh, yes. Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I love it because
You do?
I just love glitter. So it's very, I had, when I turned 40, I was like, okay, this is like, I'm not usually into birthday parties or anything, but I was like, if I'm going to turn 40, we are having a party. And my birthday
Uh-huh.
is January 2nd. So I was like, perfect. We can do a New Year's party. And it
Mhm.
was 2020. It was turning 2020. So it made total sense that it was 2020 and I was going to be 40. And so
Oh.
everything was glitter. Like the food had glitter on it, the drinks had glitter. You were required to show up wearing something at least glittered or sequined.
Very fun.
Yeah. And then the world shut down, very soon after that. So
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess you got your the party in beforehand.
we
It
did.
was the party of the year because the only party anyone was allowed to have.
Definitely was.
I'm just gonna go and put some Bailey glue where I think there's any gaps. But I think most of my stuff is pretty chunky glitter, so I should be okay.
Yeah. The other thing I've done so many times and then learned my lesson is I would take this frame and put the QB around. And then I realized that it was like I had to then measure my project. So definitely try to
Mm,
put your barrier on whatever you can to then pour all the fun stuff in, or
yeah.
it's just
Right. I
not
used to do that too. It was like now I have to do it upside down or something. I remember having such
fun.
a hard time. I was like, okay, great. And I was like, wait, now I gotta
Yeah.
oh but getting better every day.
So I love
But
I use the polymer clay beads that
ooh, mm-hmm.
are like slices. I use a ton of those and then usually try to put some sort of like harder bead in to give it the sound.
Mm-hmm. Ah, awesome. Okay.
I
I'm
tried to
just
find
gonna
lemon and could not.
I know we have some like clay the clay sprinkles and we had some fruit ones, but they were pineapples and not lemons. And I was like, that would have been so cute.
No, when I did the fruit one, it's
Oh,
like a
cute.
fruit salad inside with all the different fruits, but I
Mm-hmm.
wanted just pure lemon for this.
A lot of glitter in that one.
I feel like this is the most satisfying part of a shaker. It's just getting to
Sounds
throw
like a
it all
bunch of fun
together.
things. It's the chaos that we appreciate.
Yep.
A lot of yellow sequins in here. Do you have a rule on how much fun you put in there, or is it just as much as your heart desires?
It's a pretty wing it approach. I feel like every time I would do it, I thought I had plenty, and then I would turn it right side up and be like, oh my God, I didn't add enough. So
Yeah.
I definitely try to go a little heavier than I think is needed.
This one's pretty good because it lays flat. Like usually the problem is it's shakers up and vertical, so everything goes to the bottom. But this one is gonna be flat, which is nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start taking off my QV paper. Ooh.
See, no one would know there's no tiles behind that.
Thank you, glitter. Alrighty.
And just make sure you press it all around to really seal it. Yep, there's mine too.
I like the yellow that you used.
Thanks.
It's very lemony. Alright, and on my box. Cute.
It's very cute without all the extras. All right, I'm gonna keep going on the top, I think.
Okay.
So for mine, I did, besides the bow, a couple of different lemons on it and flowers. And it's amazing the amount of change you can make just by whether you add one layer or no layers. You don't really need to do, it doesn't need to be a difficult or a detailed SVG to really make it pop, just with a couple different layers.
Very true. I'm going to work on this big lemon. I'm going to need some cubies for sure. Do you have any method to this madness here, or is it just QB what you want, glue what you want?
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about this. I try to have a plan, but I don't often stick exactly to it. I'm a firm believer in kind of changing it up as you go to what looks good.
I think that's a sign of true creativity.
Because sometimes if you build each item, like if you went around and built each of the lemons that you were going to add, I feel like that I've tried that method too of getting all of them ready, but then I'll have put a QB in the wrong spot. So when I want to layer them with another piece, it doesn't line up correctly. So I feel like you kind of have to build as you go. What's tough about two of these lemons is the one that's on top here, and then the one I put on one of the sides, they have like the pie shape cutouts. And they look exactly the same, but they're just slightly different sizes. So if you didn't, you'll be guessing like I am right now of which one goes to which lemon.
Little pie cutout slices. All I can really think about right now is like really good lemonade.
That would be nice.
That's what I want.
Are you a lemon dessert person? I feel like you either are 100% lemon or hate it.
I love lemon dessert things. I love sour things too.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
For the Big Lemon SVG, I know if you just download it straight from the website,
Mm-hmm.
the stem and the leaf are a separate item, like a separate piece.
Okay.
So this is what you get with the lemon, but I welded them all together also for the base. So sometimes you just have to play around. Only
I
because I
see.
like having at least one base behind anything I'm layering. That's one full
Yeah,
piece. But that's just me.
that makes a lot of sense.
I feel like the SVGs you guys have are so easy to use, and you can change them up in those little ways if you need to.
That's good. That's what we want people to use them for. Change them up. Do just see what fits best because that just means you can get so many different looking projects that isn't the same thing.
Yeah.
The more you can edit things and change them how you want to fit your style or your crafting style.
I think learning like the weld and the slice in design space is really, it can change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like now that I, use the Cricut essentially for everything, I can't cut anything by hand.
Yeah.
It's like I've forgotten that I could, I'll put my paper in and cut a box out of with the Cricut, like a square. Like I guess I could have done that myself.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes. I'll start because I know how to. I have this one program where I'm able to like kind of make SVGs, and so I'll start like, oh, okay, it's okay. I just need like a circle and an oval, and I can do this. And then I'll start doing it on the like making a proper file instead of just, or I could just cut this out by hand and be about 10 times faster.
It's like you lose that ability.
Yeah. This lemon looks a little funky, like it got left in the fridge a little too long, but I think it still works. Layer it with a cube.
I'm not afraid to admit sometimes, like especially with flowers, I do it all the time, and the leaves that go with them, if they're
Mhm.
like some of them, they're a little too big, so I just rip them. Like I'll cut them in with them and just use a piece of it. I feel like that's what you just need to do sometimes. It
Change
doesn't
it up.
have to be
Nothing
perfect. It just
scary.
make it work.
Agreed. Remember, guys, we are crafting today with Sarah from. Did you say it, Sarah Designs, on your? Is that how you like tell
SHRH
people?
Designs.
SHRH Designs. Okay.
Yep.
We are crafting with Sarah from SHRH Design. She is on our design team, and you have been for a little bit now, haven't you?
I think either design team 6 or 7 was my first.
Okay. Me and Jared
So
talking about it, and he was like, "Has she been on there for since 5?" And I was like, "I think maybe a little after, but about
yeah,
then,
it
yeah."
might have been 6. It's been a while.
It has been. It's been good. Love having you on the team.
Thank you. It has been a lot of fun. I feel like I talk to more people on a daily basis that I've never met in real life because of Teams than I do outside of it. So
Yes, that's true. There's been, especially when I first started, I was basically always on the design team talking to people. And I was like, wow, I feel like I know everyone, but I've never met them in person,
yeah.
which was different. And it wasn't until Anne did that XOXO Craft Girls here and that I actually met people. And it was so strange. I was like, I know them, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
It's a very weird feeling. Very much online friends come to life.
Yeah. For paper flowers, do you hand roll them or do you use this little? I forgot that I was also using this tool. I used like the little roller
The
tool.
little quilling tool. I have
Yeah.
one. We've got quite a few flowers here. It's been a while since I've rolled a flower. I feel like I've mostly just been layering a lot of them lately. I guess with Kimberly we were layering some. So it's
Yeah.
been a little bit since I've done a nice little roll.
I am terrible at 3D flowers. I've tried, but I feel like a good roll is just like it's the cheating way to do it, and it still looks awesome.
Is it cheating if it still looks great?
No one else seems to
Yeah.
complain about them, so I feel like
Yeah.
work.
I love doing a good rolled flower. I didn't even know rolled flowers were a thing until I did a live with I think her name was Sylvie from the Flower Garden, and we did an entire shadow box of rolled flowers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And that was fun. She showed me. She uses a drill on hers, and she goes
I've
real fast.
seen people do that. Sometimes when my girls want to help, they'll earn money by helping me. And I'm
Oh
like, "Oh,
yeah.
here are all the flowers. Just start rolling."
Nice.
This SVG was really fun. I forget is it a dahlia maybe? This one? I forget what the name of it was,
Not sure.
but it's so simple. And I know you could use one of the ball rollers to get the
Mhm.
curvature, but I just did it with my hands. I didn't even use
Oh, okay.
any tools. And it's just because there's so many layers, it's just a great.
An easy fit little flower to
Yeah.
layer up. Alrighty. Thinking of lemonade, do you like lemonade, iced tea, or like the Arnold Palmer's where it's both?
Probably. I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, so I'd probably just take like a nice black iced tea, maybe with lemon in
Mm,
it, but not lemonade.
gotcha. I love I'm the opposite. I really love sweet. I used
Do
to
you?
pour as I would yeah, I would put as much sugar packets as I could in there as a kid. My mom would get like unsweet tea. I'm just like, I think it needs a little more. I think it needs a little more.
Well, you're from
But
the South, so that makes more sense.
true, true. Love a good sweet iced tea. I like lemonade as well, but I don't really like the Arnold Palmer's. I feel like it should be tea or lemonade.
One, it's the hardest thing in the world to say. So
True. Flowers.
yesterday, I just felt like I needed a teeny bit of sweet. So
Mm-hmm.
at Starbucks, I got the iced tea, but you can add the raspberry boba to anything right now.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I highly recommend that.
That was good. I did try it. I went to got some. I think it was like a blue drink. It was like a blue raspberry maybe, and I got the little boba in there. That was good.
Didn't it feel like a popsicle? like a
Yeah.
melted. I fully enjoyed the first like 5 sips, and then I gave it to one of my girls because it was super so good for those first 5.
That's how my mom is with cake. She'll take a little cake and then she'll get chips on the side because she's like, I can't have too much sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If I eat sweet,
Mm.
I have to offset it with something salty instantly.
Mhm. I used to think that was like, that's crazy. You should have all the sugar in the world. Sugar's so delicious. And now I'm like, yeah, I think she was onto something. I do need a little something to balance it out. Sometimes, well, it was very surprising. Like the first time I had something sweet and my teeth like basically hurt almost. It felt like it was so sweet. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening? I think I finally understand what my mom's been talking about all this time.
Yep. It's like your teeth grow up and start.
Yeah, after your baby teeth, they're just like, wow, okay, slow down on the sugar. This is all you've got left. Last
Look
pair.
how cute this flower is. I just love it. There's so many layers
So
to it, and it's like
cute.
the easiest thing.
It looks so fluffy. Oh, that might be is it a chrysanthemum? That just
Yes,
looks very fluffy like that.
yes,
Okay.
that's what it is. And you can put like a pearl inside. You can leave it. You
Mm.
can cut a little circle and put it in. You could put another rolled flower in. I have these just like flat buttons I'm going to throw in.
Mm. Mm. Alrighty, and I'm just by hand kind of pushing out my petals. A little bit of 3D effect. And then Debbie on YouTube says boba is awesome. I agree.
Yep.
Do you ever drink like regular boba, like the milk tea sorts of boba?
Yes,
Those.
I do love. I used to be completely, I mean, you're way too young for this, but when I was in high school, it didn't last long. So people weren't ready for boba. It was called, I feel like it was called like Orbits or something, or Orbs. It was some weird, it was like a sweetened seltzer. And then it had little colored boba in it, but no one knew what boba was at that point. And they were just like, they must have been slightly different because they weren't all at the bottom. They like floated, but they made them blue, and
Oh.
I mean, it was, everyone thought it was the most bizarre thing in the world. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I love boba, but it really grossed me out when I was younger. It was the
Oh
popping,
wow.
a little bit of
Oh,
a
the popping boba. Yeah, I've seen like the popping boba in I remember my first experience was with frozen yogurt
yes.
with popping boba, and I thought that was so good because again, it was just like little packets of sugar just
Yep.
to eat. And I love that so much. But then I ate so much one time. I think it was like I'd finished my exams in college, and that's when I had it. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get as much popping boba as I want, and I pretty sure I got sick off of it. And so I banned myself from having some for a while. And then at some point, there was a boba like drink store I went to, and they're like, "Do you want the tapioca boba?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is, but sure." So I tried that, and I was like, "Oh, it's different. It's very different." And at
It
first, I
is.
didn't like it, but now I do. And now I'm just trying different stuff. Like now I'll have a lychee with my milk tea.
Oh, really? I've not tried that.
Mm-hmm. I like lychee. Oh, it's not milk. No, it's milk tea. It's like get like the winter melon tea, milk
Yep.
tea, and get lychee. Oh, love. That's a fun combination.
When we were in Thailand, one of the nights we found this like fully customized,
Ooh.
like it was just a truck. There was no people, it was all computerized, but it was like
Oh,
7 different stations that you went to, and you went with your cup and made part of your drink and just moved down the assembly line and got to pick all these, crazy combinations and
uh-huh.
choices. And my youngest Gracie, she is very much into boba. So that was probably the highlight of her entire Thailand trip.
That's awesome. Alrighty, I've got my flowers mostly rolled. How many flowers are you rolling?
I have the three rolled flowers for the top. So I just lost one because I wasn't quite. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, one with the lemons and then two with the yellow flower up top.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
And I know some people only hot glue rolled flowers, and it's definitely a super quick method, but either way works.
Got some leaf options here. Put on.
And then you don't have the strings too if you're using this glue instead of the hot glue.
Yeah, those strings, it's like little spider webs.
Ugh, no matter what you do.
As much as you try and kind of like twist it when you finish up and then you pull it off, there's still strings.
The humidity is increasing rapidly.
Oh no.
Like turn the air up.
Humidity can get you. It's very, very hot.
All right, I'm going to start on one of my sides.
These out to dry.
In your area, when does school start back up?
What was that?
In your area, does school start soon for kids?
I think it starts. Let's see, what time when does it start? I think in 3 weeks is what I was told.
Okay, so not too much earlier.
When do you guys start school?
They're the last week of August. They start back.
Gotcha. I've got my lid. Whoopsie. My lid complete now. Looks pretty good.
I love it.
Oh, it's this way. And then party. All right, I'm just going to put some on my sides.
Let's go. I feel like this lemon theme goes with so many things. Like it can go with people are doing it for baby showers and wedding showers and birthdays. It's kind of
lemons are very bright. I guess that makes sense because I was gonna say for a baby shower, I don't know what you do, but yellow is that neutral color, so you wouldn't have to pick like pink or blue. You just do a little yellow, a little lemon. It's on the way. Remember, guys, that lid is going to go on the top, so don't put anything too high in any corner because you won't be able to close your box.
Yep. I don't know why, but this lemon was my favorite one. The half lemon.
It's cute. Looks, I don't know, looks like you could squeeze it in a drink or something.
Yeah, it's just it's a cute one.
That's where I want to see them.
With the leaves, sometimes I add them a little, just kind of give them some texture and shape.
And then Debbie, I think she was talking about your what you were talking about, the orb boba, because she said,
she remembers it?
I would have loved it.
It was like a clearly Canadian with boba. It's the best way.
When does your summers kind of end over there? The humidity, I guess, mostly.
Um,
Or is it always humid in Massachusetts?
I mean, it really just depends. September now is still incredibly hot, um,
Mm.
and often humid. So last year, I remember it was like definitely far into October before we got any actual cool weather,
Oh, wow.
which has changed a lot from years ago. But again, I hate to complain if it's hot because I know it's just not for that long.
Yeah, we've got a lot
Last
of heat here.
year,
I feel like usually doesn't get a good cold until Halloween itself. Like
yeah,
you'll be planning a costume. You're like, oh, but it's so hot. I can just like wear the shorts or this or that. And then Halloween day, it's cold or rainy, and you're like, got your jacket on. You that's just how
yep.
it is sometimes.
I mean, I feel like New England, you just have zero idea. There's been Halloweens where everyone has been in like winter jackets, winter gloves, ruined their costume totally.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, I remember because, there was no trick or treating, and we had like a little Halloween buffet outside with one of our friends, and we had 6 inches of snow. So
Oh
there's
my
like,
gosh.
and then last Halloween, you could be out in your costume and be totally fine. So it's a guessing game.
It's a guessing game. Plan a costume at your own risk.
Yep.
Right, I've got my side flowers and lemons on. Just put a little bit here and there.
Here's my.
I still have some flowers and such left over. If I so choose to use those.
I always recommend cutting more rolled flowers than you think you're going to use because one, you can throw them anywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole carton just of cut flowers for projects, that are just extra, and then it's a great way to just add to your projects
Yeah,
without
ours
having to.
pretty easy cut. It's just kind of like one and done.
Yep. So sometimes if I know I'm cutting some, I'll just cut a ton. I won't roll them, but I'll put all the cut pieces in a container for any future needs.
Alrighty. Okay, I think I did most of my box. I want to do the little lemon shaker because that looks really cute.
Yeah, so for this, I did the white onto the acetate,
Okay.
and then the acetate onto like the hollow lemon circle.
Mm-hmm.
And then just if you use the edge of your bottom circle, so this one I didn't follow my own rule of like creating a frame, but if you use the edge of the circle, you're fine because they're the same exact size.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. Okay, and then I gotta make sure I don't have any protector on the acetate. Remember, Bailey, if you're using the Bailey Art acetate, then it's gonna have two sides of protection, so it can be extra clean and clear, no scratches.
And when you're cutting it, I'm sure it depends on everyone's blade sharpness, but I use the acetate setting on the maker that not all of the Cricuts have the acetate setting though, but if you have
Oh
it,
yeah.
that's what I use, but I put more pressure, not the default pressure, and it
Mm-hmm.
cuts right through perfectly.
Gotcha. I think like the Cricut Air, the one with the dial, it has like a foil acetate is an option to
Okay.
do, but it has to do like the custom. You put your dial on like custom material,
Yes.
and then you'll use the design space one. And if you do foil acetate, it's basically the same as acetate. It cuts it twice like normal. So I'm
Okay.
not sure why that doesn't have an acetate option,
I
but
know.
that one works for us. when we've used it. But yeah, I would say because the double sheets of protection on the Clearly does need a little bit extra pressure.
Yep. Or you can just do that like little test lift to see if it cut through, and if it didn't, just hit the C again on the Cricut.
True.
I didn't learn
I
that
love that.
way later.
Us too. I think it was like maybe it was late last year, early this year, but that was the same thing.
Oh,
We're like, oh, gotta start over again. And then I don't know if was it an update, because I swear that wasn't a thing before. All of a sudden I saw it everywhere.
I feel like I used a Cricut for years, and I don't know, I never knew you could do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was available or not, but you'd think you'd line up like you just put the mat back in and it seems like it's in the exact same spot. Never is. It cuts, just
Yeah.
slightly differently.
I'm putting on my cuties to my lemon and just keeping it to the edge as much as possible. That's gonna be our little shaker, kind of looks like a tag sort of thing.
I love making little shakers as favor tags, or just like, little name tags on gifts. I think it's a fun addition, and it doesn't take a lot.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna glue. I put my cubier in there and have a little space and put some Baylor glue in the gaps. And then I'm gonna pour in some sparkles. Yellow. Tedious bit of white. And then I'm gonna do some blue.
I feel like these are just so cute.
Hmm?
It's just like it's such a simple shaker.
Yes. That is like the fun thing about shakers, is that they're relatively, I guess, simple. It's like a backing, acetate, and then like a frame or something. But
Yeah.
then, just the fact that it has this cute little things inside, the glitter or the sequins or the clay sprinkles. So much fun. All right. Ta-da. I did put blue in mine. A little blue lemon.
Cute. I just made mine noisy. I felt like my top doesn't have as much shaker noise, but.
All right. I think I've got most of my stuff on here. I'm looking for my ribbon next.
As organized as I was, I'm still missing a lemon.
So much fun. Oh, I was looking at this myself, and I was keeping away from the camera. But ta-da! This is our box. I got some.
Did you make yellow flowers? I like them.
Yes, I got yellow. They're like a little bit on camera. It's hard to tell, but they're paler yellow than like the lemon.
Yeah.
Very light one, but yes. Ta-da! It's very yellow, very lemony.
So how did you start Barely? How did you start here?
At Barely?
Yeah.
I got hired using Indeed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was before working at a marketing agency. It was for B2B, which is business to business. So I was handling different people's business accounts for, I was doing just pretty much anything. It was a very small agency. So I was writing emails, I was writing blogs, I was doing people's social media, I was going on and taking pictures or video on site on some things. And then I saw some really cool stuff. Like I rode in a helicopter because there was a client who did helicopters, and they would take the like telephone poles, and they would do training to teach people how to do them and insert them into like the hole in the ground.
Oh, that's
And then
crazy.
I did. It was crazy. It was really scary because I'm not say I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights, but being in like planes makes me nervous just because it's like the up and down, like the turbulence or thing. So I was like, a helicopter is gonna be so much worse. But it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was a lot of fun, and the doors open though. That's kind of scary. But I was
God.
just taking pictures. I was like, I put the camera out the door, and I was just taking. I was like, okay, I hope this is gonna work, and it did. For the most part, it was a lot of fun. My hair looked insane afterwards because I had a helmet and headphones on, so it was a lot of fun. I saw like a really some. I went to do photography at a nice house, and I met my first corgi there. I was like,
Hmm.
wow, corgis can get big, and just a little bit of everything there. And then I was looking for a new job around 2020, I think. We were still working from home, and I was like, I think it's time to try something different. And then I was like, I sure do like arts and crafts, and I saw Barely Art, and I was like, that's crazy. If I got hired at a place that can do arts and crafts every day, there's just no way that's a real job. And
Right?
then I applied, and I had a couple interviews, and they actually called me while I was in a meeting with at my other company. So it was like a lunch break, and I like listened to the message, and it was like, "Hey, we want to offer you the job," and I was like, oh, I'm taking that job." So
Awesome.
this is my last meeting here, so it was a lot of fun. It's been good. I've now been here for 3 years, so pretty good time. And do you work as a crafter full time, or do you have another job? Are you mostly at home?
I'm now full time. I was a CPA,
Oh.
um, so slightly different too, than crafting. But I've always I've just always loved to do different crafting things, and
Mhm.
but I also love numbers. So I had fun as an accountant, but I actually had a stroke about 10 years ago.
Oh,
So then I had to kind of shift brain focus, I guess.
oh, wow, that sounds pretty intense.
Yep. I
Okay,
don't
so crafting
recommend
has
it.
kind of been
However, it worked out.
yeah, I guess crafting has kind of been like your, mental health safety place.
For sure. And it's allowed me to stay busy and feel like I mean, I am now. It is my job, and
Mhm.
it keeps me occupied, but if I need to take a break, I can take a break, and I'm
Right.
on
Very
boss.
cool.
It's not staring at a computer, which was the big one of the big problems,
Really.
or memorizing, numbers all day long. So,
Mhm. Well, I'm glad you're in good health now. That sounds really scary. So it's good that crafting was this safe place for you.
yep, we focus on the silver lining a lot in our family. That
That's
necessary.
good. Very necessary. Trying to do a bow, and it's not turning out the way I want it to.
I have saved so many tutorials on how to tie a bow, yet I never can find them when I need to tie a bow.
I don't know if you were watching Craftmas last year, but I was so determined because I had perfected the bow method, and I was really happy about it. And I was like, I'm going to show everyone on the live. And so then I was there, and I kept trying, and it was not turning into a bow. It was falling apart or turning into a knot. And I was so sad. I was like, I was so excited to show everyone because bows have always been like my enemy as well. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
it doesn't stay or it doesn't look right. And then I was like, I got it. And then after the live, I was like, I don't understand. I had it down, and then I tried it again, and it worked. And then I was like, nothing makes sense anymore.
I feel like you don't appreciate how good a good bow looks until you see the difference, and then it's like, oh yeah, like that is not my normal tie.
Hmm.
Oh, my lemon was in the box. That's why I couldn't find it.
All right, I think
I've done my lemons too on all the sides.
Oh, very nice.
You could do it on the tile. I mean, you could go crazy with wherever you want it.
Beautiful. All right.
And on my original, I added a little G onto the lemon. I have a laser here too, so but you could do it in paper. You could do it as like one of those letter stickers. You could kind of do anything.
Oh, wow. I think I would, if I wanted to put this bow on, I think I'd have to use like hot glue, but I don't have my hot glue ready yet. So I'm just going to have to imagine what it will look like when I do hot glue it down. I don't know, look like that.
Yeah, this one I hot glued it behind a lemon, but I'm going to see what it looks like tying it look kind of like a present. So you'd have to untie it to
oh, yes.
Open the box. Why not?
Oh. Again, I need the hug. Oh yeah, I forgot. The bottom of my box looks so good.
I like it on the bottom. I think I would add
just a little extra surprise for you guys. So options. You could always cut out more tiles and put them everywhere. Everyone top and the bottom, but yes. Then I have my little shaker here. This would be like a nice little name tag you could put on. I'm right on the back actually. I'm just gonna put coffee.
Yeah, I think it's like if you could do it all different ways. You could tie it as a decoration or add it as like a seal. This was it tied like a decoration, but also it'd be cute if you had to untie it.
Like the classic.
I put flowers on my little lemon too for the shaker.
Oh, very nice. Looks nice. I don't have anywhere to put this right now because I don't have my hot glue, but it is a little tag you can add, you guys, like the way Sarah's doing, as well as the bow. Here's my bow. I did get to do it where I wanted it, kind of like got some fluffy sides there. Thank you. This is what I was trying to do on the lives last year, but I couldn't do it. I was still struggling. I will have this method down. Maybe this year on Craftmas, I'll have this method nailed down and I'll show everyone how to make a proper bow.
I mean, not to brag, but I do remember our winning team. We did a paper bow and it was pretty amazing. For our
Which team was that one? Have you won more than once?
I've won twice.
Okay.
It was the Nutcracker one, the pastel Nutcracker.
That one was so fun. Those were so cool.
I mean, Jen's giant 3D Nutcracker, like how could you beat that? So
you sent in the little cupcake toppers, right?
Yes.
Those are so cute. Yeah. I loved them. I liked how you had like the stick for them. I think they were like acrylic glitter.
Yeah.
Very nice. I liked those. They were cool. I liked that there was a bunch of different ones.
Yeah. Because not a lot of people like to do cupcake toppers because they're awful.
Oh no. Is it because they're so small?
Because they're so small. So I think people think, oh, like it's even easier. Just make a small version. And the paper is this big for all the details. But I love those. And the color scheme was so pretty.
Yeah, it looked great. It turned out beautiful. Oh, man. But Christmas is a little bit a ways away. Until then, we'll enjoy the rest of this summer.
Yes. Lemons. All about the lemons. Dead.
All about the lemons. So this is the project, you guys. This is the summer fruit box from Sarah from SHRH Designs, which looks so great. She used SVGs from our website. So again, this is something that you guys voted on Instagram. We put up like the project type and then like the project theme, and this is what you picked. Or it was just like the word. So it was a gift box, and then it was summer fruits. And then Sarah took that design and ran with it. I gave her like an original one. Like this is what Bailey Art would kind of put together, and she has it there, that kind of fruit salad looking one. That's like what I gave her. I said, this is what I imagine when I say summer fruit box. And then I said, okay, but now take summer fruit box and make it your own. And this is what we get, which is something so beautiful and classy and gorgeous, which I love. So just goes to show you that, you know, creativity has no bounds. Knows no bounds. It is awesome. So I love that you added the shaker here, because that wasn't part of my original thought. I didn't think gift box can have shaker, and it can. So this is on our website, bailey.art. It is a free file. You can go on there and download it. And if you do make this project, don't forget to tag us. This video will stay on YouTube, which is the Bailey Art YouTube. You go on there, check out our different beginner-friendly videos or other lives that we've had with different crafters. And then I also want, before we end this, I just want to mention again, we have the Christmas in July sale going on. So you want to check that out, save some money, stock up on your projects or your materials for the, you know, holiday season is coming, and it's going to come fast. But check that out, bailey.art. You can go on there, and then on the menu, click deals, and that'll take you to the page. It ends July 31st, so you only have a few more days before it is over, and then you lose out on all these awesome deals. We have bundles, and we've got singular items on there, so give it a try, check it out, and let us know what you guys think. We hope you enjoyed this live. Sarah, did you have anything you wanted to mention before we say goodbye?
Just thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I was so glad. We hadn't had you before, so I'm so glad we got to add you to our list of, you know, guest influencer crafters. So don't forget, you guys, you can follow Sarah on Instagram, as well as you have, what else do you got, Sarah?
Facebook, and I'll pretend I have TikTok, because I am on there. I'm just not but Facebook and Instagram for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so don't forget to follow her. It is SHRH Designs. She's got wonderful projects. I love all the pictures you take too. Your projects always look so bright and vibrant. So check those out. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Sarah, do you know how we say bye here?
No.
Okay, so we've got Bailey Art, which is B-A, which is what we named our bear. His name is Ba. And so we'll say bye.
Bye.
That's how we say it. Yes. All right, ready?